for you real fast. Don't know if you're going to be able to hear over the TV in the background. But anyway, so I tried to make the skill planner. It did not work very well. So here you go. This is what I'm using for the Tactical Miracle Worker build. So I got the Terran Task Force Beam, Nausicaan Energy Torpedo, Experimental Romulan Plasma Beam, Nausicaan Disruptor Beam, Colony, the Epic Elite, the Elite Fleet Intervention Protomatter Deflector Array with Colony Crit, Drain X times 2 EPS, and Shield and Hull Cap. I'm right now using the Bajor Defense Engines and Shields. Reason being for the 2-piece bonus, which is 17% to Phaser, Disruptor, and Plasma, which are the 3 kinds of weapons I'm using on this build. If you went with a single weapon type, like Disruptors, which would probably be the best damage, then I would probably, instead of using the Bajor Defense, I would use the engines from the competitive rep. And then, so for core, I'm using the Elite Fleet Thoron Infused Singularity Core with AMP, O-Load, Sing C, Triple S, W-S, and W-Cap. Then I'm using in the rear the Prolonged Engagement Phaser Beam Array. Again, that's an item you probably don't have because it was from a weekend event. And then I'm using the House Martok 360 energy weapon from Brushfire. Omnidirectional Plasma Beam Array, crafted. Again, because Plasma and Romulan. I like it. Kinetic Cutting Beam. Devices, I'm just using the Subspace Field Modulator and Red Matter Capacitor. Consoles for Universal, I'm using Tactical Locator for beams. So 5 of these, and the reason I'm using that is again because I'm using varied beams. If I was using just Disruptor, then I would use just Disruptor. Console-wise, I'm using Bioneural Infusion Circuits. 0-point energy. Reason being is because I got the Experimental Beam Array here, so I get the 2-piece bonus from it. 2-piece bonus is 10% Plasma Energy Weapon Damage and some more EPS. Then I'm using the console from the Nausicaan set, so I actually have the 3-piece bonus from Nausicaan, so that's more Disruptor damage and Hull Pen. And then in engineering, I'm using the House Martok, the Assimilated console, and I'm using 2 items here, which is this is a Romulan. You can buy this directly off the exchange, and it's one of the best consoles in the game, and it's not even too expensive. It's a Universal Dynamic Power Redistributor module. It gives you 11.2 all damage resistance rating plus directed energy damage. That 17.8 is Cat 1 damage, which means it's actually really good. And then the clicky is good as well. It gives you bonus damage, resist, and hull healing. Then a conductive, this is a crafted conductive RCS accelerator that's going to give you turn rate, damage resistance, and a proc when you heal that increases your turn rate. Skill-wise, I'll just kind of scroll through here. So you can see what I'm using here. You can just kind of play back the video. And a lot of these choices are, again, to maximize damage and survivability. I'm not putting a lot of points into pets because this build doesn't use pets. Ground. I'm an engineer, so I kind of went for kit performance mostly. And then Miracle Worker, I'm still working on maximizing that out. And Strategist. Traits. For space, I'm running Romulan Operative, Grace Under Fire, Beam Training, Operative, Elusive, this gives you more defense, Fleet Coordinator that helps when you run in groups because you get basically plus 10% damage, Projectile Training, Warp Theorist, and Context is for Kings, again more resistance. I'm running Honor Dead for more resistance, Redirecting Arrays, the trait from the Miracle Worker ship. When you're taking damage, it makes your firewall last longer. Supercharged weapons, that comes from the Romulan flagship Tier 6 Scimitar. And then again, that's basically if I shoot a torpedo, then I get more damage and crit severity. An emergency weapon cycle. Space rep, I'm using Precision, Advanced Targeting, Hull Reinforcement, and Chrono Capacity Array, which is a 7.5% Bridge Officer Ability Recharge Speed. And then for active reps, Sensor Interference, the one for Nuclear, Tetraionic Cascade, Singularity Manipulation, and Shield Generator. Stations, Chemosite Latent Weaponry 1, Attack Pattern Beta 1, Fire at Will 3, Attack Team 1, Delta 1, Torp Spread 3, Engineering Team 1, Exceed Rated Limits 3, This gives you 100% recycling haste, but you take 3,000 damage. So that's why I have hazard emitters here. So basically I pop this, and then that. So that negates the damage that I'm taking from this, and it's a big DPS increase. Emergency power weapons to 3, reverse shield polarity, emergency power to weapon engines, and narrow sensor bands. You could easily switch this one to another weapons or shields. The reason I'm running this is for the duty officer, that whenever I use emergency power to weapons 1, it recharges evasive maneuvers. So again, that's the stations I'm running. Traits, skills. If I go out to sector space, you can see some of the stats. Try to make this real fast. Can you find the animal that makes this sound? So traits and stats in sector space, you can see here is 50, pretty much across the board for resists. I have 35% crit chance and 140 crit severity, and a lot of that is because, let's see, Delu is a superior Romulan operative, Tovin Kor is a Romulan operative, she's a Romulan operative, Danatra is a Romulan operative. One of two is an engine is a Borg, and the reason I'm using the Borg is because of their trait. Efficient, increased warp core efficiency plus all to all power levels. And go back to the stats. So when I'm moving, you'll see my defense rating is 80 and 28 on the turn rate. Flight speed, 14.6 turn rate. Emergency power to engines increases that and also increases my defense a little bit. And then when I use a heal, it's going to pop that up another 6%, bumps the crit chance up and turn rate. So again, and that's all from the Miracle Worker. Alright, if you have any other questions, let me know. Oh, duty officers, using active space. Chance to restore shields when tape brace to impact. So, but nothing too crazy. I keep meaning to switch this guy and this guy. So, swap. So there we go. Recharge evasive maneuvers whenever emergency power to engines is activated. Chance to reduce recharge time for emergency power to subsystems. And a resistance buff for using ramming speed or brace for impact. I keep brace for impact on cooldown, and that gives me more resistance. And again, at the same time, I get a chance to restore shields when I use that. So both of those are very handy. Again, so if you don't have this console and you can't afford it, really any of the rep consoles would go well there. Same thing with any of these. So basically, like the Iconian rep one would be a good one to replace with this. Again, if you have any other questions, let me know. I also use this when I'm tanking. I throw this console on, the Proto-Matter Field Projector, in the Universal slot for more healing, and I throw this on, the Delayed Casual Plating, this one, Casualty Plating. This gives you damage, 100% immunity, and it gives you a little bit of, the clicky gives you some more haste for your weapons. So I'll slap that one on one of these damage consoles here, just to give myself a little bit more tanking. Alright, I'll talk to you later.